The calendar goes back to the 6th century BC. That was defeated by Alexander the Great. After he died, one of his generals and descendants took over for a while, about 85 years. You then have the second great Persian Empire, the Parthians. And they were really in control for about 500 years, and then by the middle of, no, actually it's the first quarter of the 3rd century of the Common Era, AD, you have the Sassanians. And let me show you the map, which is not a great map, but it's the best we can. Let me pass this around. The Sassanian Empire, at its greatest extent, and it was under this particular king, which I'll get to, extended from Syria to Central Asia. So, we think of the Roman Empire as being large and the Byzantine Empire, but these Persian empires were just as large, if not larger. But what's important to remember is when you get along the edges of these empires, things are moving back and forth. Things are moving back and forth, so that sometimes the Romans have taken over the area and pushing back the Persians, and then the Persians come and push the Romans out. So especially around the edges, there's a lot of mixing, and there's a lot of cultural mixing too, so that at times a Persian, say a son, or somebody who's the Pope, will go and live in Rome for a while and have a good time, and then come back. So here, let me take that. Now, getting back to this plate. It was found in 1872 in Russia, north of the Caspian Sea. And it then went into the collection of Count Stroganoff. Now, have any of you ever eaten beef stroganoff?
Never.
It's oh, my son loves beef stroganoff. So it's that stroganoff. And then it came into the collection here and is considered one of the finest, because there are others around, and I'll show you some others in the back. But we know who the king is. The king is Shapur II. And he ruled longer than any other Sassanian king. He ruled for 70 years. One of the reasons he ruled for so long was that he was crowned, in quotes, crowned king when he was born. Now, when I've had children, I say, what do you think the first thing the king did?
Soiled his pants.
Well, they say he cried. But there was a regency. His mother, in fact, and various heads of important families until he was a teenager, but it said that he led an army into battle at age 16. So, how do we know it's Shapur II? Coins. Each ruler had a different crown. And so from the coins, we can identify the particular crown. And here is a close-up of it. So that very often the rulers can be identified by the crown. Now, that big ball on top is the question, what's it made of? Because how do you balance it? Do you see that ball on top of the crown? And we think it was a ball of silk or some sort of fabric. Lightweight, because otherwise, how in the world could you manage it? So what's the point of these plates? What do they? First of all, the idea of these picture plates comes from Rome. This is not a plate. You don't put your sandwich on that plate. These were made very often to give his gifts. The king, the Sasanian king, Shapur II, he is not just the king. He is the king of kings. In this vast empire, it's very hard to control. There are different groups. There are governors, there are regents, there are minor kings. This is the sort of thing that would be given as a gift. It's a political statement. What's he saying when he gives
Universal king.
Yeah, yeah. He is showing several things. He's showing his power. Here I'm the big guy sitting on the horse. But also, what he's showing is he is in control of nature. He is in control of chaos. And because he can control chaos and nature, he can control his empire. He has the right to rule. Let's wait. The crowd.